So you buy your next home and your current one still hasn't sold. You're now carrying two different mortgages, you're paying double the bills, and the stress level has got to be through the roof. You're not alone. This is something a lot of sellers right now are dealing with, and there's some strategic ways that you can actually handle the situation. So in today's video, we're going to break those strategies down for you. Across the GTA right now, we're seeing home sales are down 20% or more, depending on the city you live in the GTA compared to last year. You're buying a new home, you're excited, and the emotional roller coaster is not letting you off because you still can't sell your home that's sitting on the market. It's lingering there. It's becoming a common, extremely stressful scenario that we talk to people about right now. And in fact, more homeowners are choosing to buy right now out of fear that they won't find what they want, but that's creating a serious risk for them, the overlap of two properties. And now you're stuck with two properties, two mortgages, and all the emotional and financial weight that comes along with that. So what are you supposed to do next? Let's talk about that strategy. You need to revisit and reposition your current home that might be on the market. We seem to be getting a lot of calls from people whose homes are on the market and they're asking us for advice. We're not allowed to help them with advice because we don't represent them. Their current agents do. But we hope that everybody out there does their research in how you can sell your home quickly. You can check out our video that we've done here. 5 easy steps to make sure your home is positioned best for the current real estate market that we're in. But we're going to go over some things right now in terms of strategy and what can help you if you're stuck in this situation or to prevent you from getting stuck in this situation. So we're going to start with that repositioning of your current listing. We're going to start with the property that is supposed to be sold. If your home is already listed and it's been sitting on the market for 10 days, 14 days without any offers, without any showings, without any action whatsoever, something might be wrong. Not necessarily from the offer perspective, but from getting some showings and people through the door, there's some issues there. So what we want to think about is pricing, presentation, or promotion. One of these or all of these could have an issue. We're going to start with the pricing side of things. Has your neighborhood maybe seen some other price declines? Are you being realistic of what the buyers are paying today and not 6 months ago? Presentation wise, you need to look at your photos. Are they bright, high quality? Is there the best features of your home actually being shown off in these photos to attract people to come and visit your property? And is the way it's staged inviting, or does it look more cluttered and dated? These are all questions you can answer for yourself. And the next thing is that marketing strategy. Is your agent promoting them? Ask the agent to see what they're doing for you. Ask them what kind of ads they're running. Ask them where it's being promoted. Ask them how often they are pushing your property out beyond the scope of just the MLS service. You can ask them for social media reports, presentation performance from their ads that they're putting out there online. How many views is your listing actually getting just on the MLS or realtor.ca? A lot of these can dictate what's happening with your property. If there's no traction on MLS, it's likely one of the pricing or presentation side of things, not necessarily the advertising side of things. So getting the info from your agent is extremely important. You can do some refreshes. You can refresh that listing description, use some more emotional hooks, maybe some key features that were missed in the original listing description. Of course, reevaluate that pricing with a new market breakdown of what's happened since you listed your property in the area. Check out the last 30 days or last 15 days. If a neighbor sold recently, that might bring down the value of your property, and that might be why nobody's coming to take a look at it. The second thing is calculate your financial exposure clearly. It's time to get really clear about your numbers and really realistic with them. Owning two homes cannot last for very long. Most people can't sustain two mortgages for a very long period of time. You need to know where your limit is before it becomes a massive crisis. And if you've got a family that you're looking to support as well, it's a really big issue that you do not want to have for very long. You need to start by calculating everything. Your monthly mortgage payments, property taxes, insurance on both properties, your utility bills, maintenance costs, potential condo fees if one of the properties is a condo fee. Maybe there's a bridge loan if you're borrowing from the bank because you can't obviously have both these mortgages at the same time. This all adds up, whether it's 3 months, 6 months, 9 months. It's your financial runway that you're looking at here, and you need to know how much runway is actually there for you. Can you comfortably cover both properties for a prolonged period of time? Your answer is likely no. So figure out what you can do to expedite this process here. Can you reduce some of these expenses on a property, or is it better for you just to reduce the price on your property and make the sale happen faster? You need to let your bank and your financial institutions know that you're stuck in this situation and you do not want to necessarily be in a position where you're missing a mortgage payment. So have those discussions with your representatives. Now, if you're already committed to one home, an alternative, not a great one, but something you can consider is renting out one of these two properties to cover some of that two mortgages that you're dealing with here. If your move isn't urgent, leasing out maybe for 3 to 6 months, one of these properties could float some of these carrying costs for you. It also is going to buy you some time to reposition your property and sell that current home that you're having a difficult time selling. Your second option that we could talk about would be a lease back. Some buyers may want to buy your home but kind of rent it back to you for 30 or 60 days. So that might be an alternative if you do get an offer that comes in on your home and they can't come to terms with a specific closing date or timeline for you, especially if you've already locked in a lease on the property that you've bought. Now, none of these are ideal, but sometimes it's cheaper than burning $10,000 a month on two mortgages. Be creative, be flexible. It's better than some long-term strain and ruining a family dynamic with money, because money gets in between everybody. Bridge financing and strategic refinancing are going to allow you to maybe utilize some equity in the existing home and fund the purchase of your next one. However, not all bridge loans are equal. Some lenders require a firm sale on your existing home to even give you that bridge loan. And the rates and terms can vary depending on your lender. It could cost you thousands of dollars a month. And you need to know, first of all, if you're eligible and what that cost is going to look like for you. Can you maybe extend your mortgage amortization to make the monthly payments a little bit more palatable for yourself? Speak to your mortgage broker immediately if this is you. If you haven't already, this is time to leverage every financial option that's out there for you so you can stay afloat without panicking about the situation that you're in. Now, something very important is the legal implications of this whole scenario. If you're in the middle of firm deals or changing course, don't make assumptions. Have a real estate lawyer review any changes that you're going to be making or that you might be considering. Check what happens if you can't close on a new property or purchase one in time, because you need to understand there's penalties, liabilities on both ends for you. And sometimes selling at a loss today is better than breaching a contract tomorrow. So understand the legal implications before you do proceed with any of the steps here. And you want to future-proof your next move if you absolutely have control of that. If you're in the early processes right now of deciding whether you want to buy or sell first, you need to look at what that market is in your area. It's very, very difficult right now to sell a home quickly. Now, I know a lot of this does not sound the most exciting, especially if your home is not selling and it's already on the market. If you've already purchased a home, you have to make an adjustment fairly quickly. But maybe you are just the person who's in limbo. You're deciding, should I buy first? Should I sell first? This is a conversation that's extremely important for you to have with yourself, with the agent, with your mortgage brokers. Now, this might change depending on where you live in the Greater Toronto area, but what you can do is see if there's anything on the market that interests you that you might potentially put an offer in on. If there are tons of properties out there right now that you would consider putting an offer in on, I encourage you to probably go ahead and try to sell your home first, knowing that you have tons of options out there that could potentially work for you. If you think you're the type of person who's only going to buy that one specific perfect home, then you really need to be careful with selling your home first, because you may never find that perfect home. We always encourage our clients that a 7 out of 10 is the target when you're trying to buy your next property. You can always improve the home to be exactly what you want, but trying to find that 10 out of 10, that needle in the haystack, is extremely difficult, and it's ultimately not a realistic target when you're trying to find a property. It's always better to spend a little bit less and make those upgrades yourself than it is to pay for all the upgrades that somebody might have done to get you ultimately that 10 out of 10 home. Figure out what makes sense for you. You either sell first, you buy first, but in today's market, when it's taking a lot longer to move a property, I am probably going to pursue selling my home first if I had to choose today. Thank you so much for watching this one. If you are thinking of getting your home on the market soon and you're trying to figure out what steps you need to take to make sure you have success and you're not finding yourself in this position, you can watch this video here. That will give you the 5 steps to make sure that you are putting your home in the best possible position to get it sold fast in a challenging market.